200.
9 raises, 200.
Well, it's a virtual all-in. 2/3 of his chips have been wagered. Ace-5 to Zubov.
Yeah, it's nice to see Jamil rewarded for that disciplined fold.
How many blues do you have behind?
Rewarded.
100 here.
Here he is. Even not even ace king or ace 10. He's just
300 total.
Thank you.
Ass, meat, foot.
Fine.
And that foot belongs to Adrian Mateos.
yeah.
5
Well,
folds, 6 folds.
We are going to see a flop, I guess, because Mateos has just called. Vaskaboinikau folds the ace-deuce.
Couple of aces folded. And no queens. Pot 525 with just 100K behind. Yeah, and with 2 live cards against a hand like tens. I mean, Jamil, I don't think will put it in. Because, by the way, well, this is going to be quite a technical and interesting spot because there's some chance that Mateos keeps Jamil alive. Because in the next hand, I don't want to preempt it because that might not be Mateos' strategy. But Mateos now has a decision. Because what does he gain by getting... Oh, he does. He does just do it. I thought he might... Oh, he's going to... 95?
Yeah.
So you're right.
Wow.
But in a weird way.
I don't know whether you can bet 95, though. Is that a legal bet?
It's not a legal bet, right? Because 50,000. Well, no, it is. The 5K chips are still in play. It's a legal bet.
Wow. Because...
Who would even think to do that?
Well, this is, you see, I'm just on the level of maybe check, but he's on the level of...
Put another 5 in,
Thank
Adrian.
God they didn't color up those 5K chips.
Wow. So where's Jamil's chip, though? Do we even see
Yeah,
it?
he's got one chip back.
Wow.
You see it there.
Okay.
Literal chip and a check.
Yeah, Mateos is like,
unreal. This is hilarious.
Look at the devious. Even he knows I'm being a bit naughty here.
Wow. So Mateos gets the maximum and leaves Jamil Wakil alive for one more hand, and he will be forced all in on the next hand.
He should be stroking a cat.
I'll keep you alive.
No, Mr. Wakil, I don't expect you to die. And a remarkable hand there, you know, a sort of new era type hand there, where Adrian recognizing how much it serves him as the big stack to keep Jamil barely on life support.
One more hand. It's so sick.
And let's see what strategies Adrian...
0 big blind.
I am.
Spin it up, man.
Roman with some words of encouragement.
Maybe I had more chips, I could fold the flop, but...
All right, well, this is going to be some kind of comeback.
I mean, this really, the literal chip in chair, but it's going to be interesting to see how Adrian wields his stack now. And if you get a medium strength hand, or even a pretty good hand, it's a really interesting spot.
I know he's going to be all in here, but there is some confusion out there as to why Adrian would keep him alive there. Would you mind just...
Well, because everyone else is hamstrung now. You can't bust your 1.8 million stack while someone has 5,000 chips. Like, what hand... What do you do with kings against ace-deuce off if someone has 5,000 chips? So it really pressurizes these short stacks. Hands that would be an automatic shove like Jack-10 suited, let's say, now maybe you really need to fold and let Jamil, you know, see what he does.
I mean, we got a time bank card being used here. This could be a...
Yeah, I mean, who knows how to play this? It doesn't matter how much you study, 6-handed with 40K pay jump, one player down to...
And a straight chip that no one even knew was on the table still.
Adrian didn't play his hand. Wow. I'm a little surprised.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it must have been bad.
Roman Hrabec with ace-7 offsuit, a.k.a. the Spraggy.
I thought he might play 100% hands. It's interesting.
5 calls, 50.
I guess with Artur on the button, you can't just be opening 7 free off or whatever.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and look at this. Artur now the covering stack against Roman.
200.
Yeah, there we go. You see the dynamic it creates, Joe.
It's so silly.
And Roman knows that he's... Look at a resigned Jamil.
20,000.
Wakil.
So Hrabec folds, Wakil all in, and...
5 more.
Yeah, and actually interesting because it was Martirosian that was able to take advantage of the situation that
Second
Adrian...
biggest stack, right,
Yes, indeed.
Мне интересное решение было.
You're sort of the effective chip leader.
Well, Wakil at least has live cards.
Кушать, типа.
Yeah, and Adrian and to a lesser extent Artur will be hoping he survives, actually, rooting for him. And the short stack desperately hoping that he busts.
That wouldn't work.
Keep me in.
I mean, 7-4, it's kind of like...
Okay, well,
Door's not shut.
Queen high still ahead, but Wakil 7s and 4s live.
Opa.
Oh, 4 on the turn. Wakil takes the lead and is now a 3-1 favorite to more than double up.
Artur.
He doesn't get that whole 330, does he?
No.
Да,
And that's nice to see. So I wonder how much he gets. Does he get the whole...
Well, there was no ante. There's
Yeah.
no ante because big blind plays first.
So he got
So he gets
15.
5K from Vaskaboinikau small blind, 5K from Roman Hrabec open, and 5K from Martirosian.
Quadruple.
Now, this is an interesting situation because, yes, he only has 20K, but he is eligible to win the whole ante,
Wow.
which is 50K.
Yes. Yes, this would be a good spot to find a good hand if
Well,
you are
intimidation.
Jamil Wakil. Look, when Jamil inevitably wins this, beating Adrian heads up, we'll see who's laughing
New
then.
That's
lesson
right.
for you.
Не, надо будет вообще почитать это.
Probably not.
Second
Oh,
round.
Adrian is smiling. I was going to say.
Look at this. He even knows he's done something cheeky. This is
Yeah.
what's quite fun about it, even though
He
it's
doesn't mind.
a very interesting and technical spot. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, now he's got his chance.
Okay, ace deuce opens to 100,000. Hrabec out. Martirosian, 8-4 off, folds. Vaskaboinikau on the button, 10-5.
Yeah.
Yuck.
And Mikalai they're actually sort of relieved to not find a hand in a way, like, okay, wow. And this is a nice spot for Jamil.
Ah, Zubov's got the bond. 7-5 of spades and is going to call, so we are going to have side
Wow,
action
this
between
is-
Mateos and Zubov.
I'm really surprised at this, by the way. I guess it's that if this is also interesting because if he were to bust this hand and Jamil busts, then he gets
He
the
still
land.
gets the jump, yeah.
So it's an interesting eventuality.
3 players, 1 running, 2 still back.
Ooh.
And the bond is on
haven't
here,
looked.
James.
It is.
The bond is live.
The street
gotta
flash
have
draw
something.
is live.
At least I got
Yeah, and Adrian
something.
recognizing
No, I
that this
didn't.
board does hit
We
a
looked together.
Zubov flatting range.
Uh,
Poor old Jamil.
Pair of sevens, best hand right now, and with that straight flash draw as well, we've got 92% equity.
I mean, the only thing that could happen is Adrian on a king could bluff him out and let Jamil
Fair enough,
win.
yeah.
So Jamil is live in a very... He's live to Mateos's aggression, basically.
I mean, it would check out given the way that Mateos has been playing thus far for the weirdest possible thing to happen
A
here.
king or jack is the only...
Not that king.
Wow. And I assume... Wow, we should see.
Not that king.
Yeah, Jamil, looking at this board, is not giving anything away like a true pro, but probably, yeah, he doesn't want to see
2
Zubov
bets,
bet.
100,000.
100K.
Notice Adrian doesn't immediately release. Doesn't have a spade in hand, but knows that Zubov... I think we should realize Zubov probably only has suited hands.
Just
Flash.
GG,
Wow, I had a pair.
Jamil.
Jamil.
GG, bro.
GG.
So we lose our first player. Jamil Wakil did come in as the super short stack. He is the first player out and cashes
Last hand flash.
for
Again,
nearly
flash.
160K.
Yeah,
Good
big
listen.
score. And obviously a little newer, certainly
Yeah, sounds
compared to,
good.
say, Adrian,
Good luck.
to the high roller 16 and a big score in the bank, locked up, you know, in terms of raw dollars, and we'll see more of Jamil Wakil in the future, I don't doubt that.
So it is Zubov forced all in here with Jack 4.
Better than Jack 3.
Sure, I mean, he's got Jack 9, Jack 3, and now Jack 4 off, all in a row.
Mateos with the best hand, pocket fives, and a 2-1 favorite to eliminate Zubov here. The flop is 9-8-3. Does not help Zubov.
10 of heart.
His immediate outs are the 3 jacks in the deck.
How about a sweaty turn? No.
No sweat.
The opposite.
The set for Mateos and the elimination of
Maybe next time.
Alexander Zubov in
Card protector broken.
5th place. He cashes for just over 200K, $205,200, taking us down to the final 4 at the final table of this 50K super high roller.
Yeah, nice score for Alexander. Certainly becoming something of a regular on the high stakes poker scene. He'll be jumping in the main now, I'm sure. The thing I like about Roman is he just rocks the EPT gear. I think he did the same at the UK, the London final. He's repping stars always, the guy.
I mean, if you look like that, why not?
Yeah,
Show off the goods.
yeah, he's looking great.
I mean, in an ideal world, he'd be wearing the Cyprus hoodie at EPT Cyprus rather than Monte Carlo swag.
can we
I mean,
get
would you wear a Pearl Jam hoodie to a Pearl Jam concert?
So you think it's not cool?
I'm just saying that if he's wearing a different event, it's fine.
Ah, yeah, exactly. It's like when you go on demos and people have like old, you know, T-shirts protesting the first Gulf War. It's got a lot real cool, like retro.
I've been
flavor.
doing this for a while.
Yeah, I've been holding placards in the air for a while.
This ain't
buddy.
my first demo.
Yeah, exactly. If you suddenly pulled out a UKRPT Bristol T-shirt.
Okay, now that's now we're
That's
talking.
vintage.
You've got to go the rare ones,
Yes.
like Monte Carlo. It's been running every year since like 05.
I went to EPT Lutraki and all I got was this
Yes,
T-shirt.
yes. So Mateos folded him in the small blind. He raises to 180,000 with 10-5 suited. Roman Hrabec has the option to check or raise with 8-4 of spades, or rather to call or re-raise. He decides to call, and we are going heads up to the flop.
Yes, and Roman, of course, not really had a spot so far at this final table. I don't think he's actually won a hand. No fault of his own, you know. Had the worst of it each and every time, pretty much, I believe. As both players do connect.
Yes, we have Mateos with bottom pair. We have Hrabec with second pair and a 3-1 favorite. Mateos is checked.
Yeah, and again, we'll see how Roman values his hand, but in general, don't want to build the pot against the chip leader. So, you know, you're always balancing between wanting to protect your hand and get value from your hand, but also the fear of opening the door or bloating the pot unnecessarily. And when you're against the chip leader, protection has to sort of, oh my days.
Oh, boy.
I mean, this Mateos guy, he's just, I mean, it's a different level, hey?
Cinco, cinco, cinco.
Improves to trips, now has 95% equity.
Yeah, great turn for Adrian. And after check, check, can bring out some big bets on occasion, I believe.
Potentially a delayed C-bet, and confirms 350,000 into a pot of 420,000.
And by the way, we see when we raise pre-flop how quickly the pot bloats. If Roman were to call here, he begins to have pot left, and I mean, and that's deliberate, of course, by the way, from Adrian Mateos. You know, we call it sort of geo-sizing, pot and then pot, same size, turn and river, to really threaten Roman. And he has to decide if he just wants to bin the second pair here on the turn. He doesn't. And gonna need an 8 in order to be victorious in this hand.
2 outs for Roman Hrabec.
Yeah, a 6 or 7 or a diamond might slow the action.
Okay, well, it is the 6 of diamonds.
Yes, and Mateos hating that river. Now can't really go for it all on the river with his hand. And we'll decide potentially, is there a sort of 10% pot sizing I can go with my 5? Do I want to check? Who does this card favor? Maybe B10 is in order, I don't know. Also would feel natural to kind of check it and hope to just show down. Because, of course, a 9 would quite often bet the flop, right? And so you do feel like diamonds and straight draws are common hands for Roman to have. Even having the 10, we interfere with the Queen 10 and Jack 10s. Yeah, that, and he does go even a smidge bigger than the 10%. And you see his eyes immediately turn to Roman, trying to pick up a read. And Roman looks to me like he's not gonna bluff. Now deciding, we can picture the Queen Jacks, the Queen 10s, the Ace, sorry, King 3 offs that might bluff turn and go for this subtle sizing on the river. We definitely need to defend a lot of our range. I guess a 4 is kind of bad. You know, 8-6 would be a better bluff catcher than 8-4 by quite a considerable amount, I believe. But there are a whole host of bluffs that Mateos. What hands does he put in?
Oh my goodness.
You said he was not considering raising, Sam. He has decided to shove river.
Love this from Roman. Absolutely amazing poker. And now the decision back on Adrian. And this is why we tune in. This is 2 top poker players, fearless poker players, going to war. I mean, I said he needed an 8 to win it. He's trying to win it here with just second pair. Really remarkable. Dialed into Adrian's sizing, dialed into who this river card favors.
I am not going to be as able to recall Adrian's moves as much as you are, Sam, but I've seen him call it off many times and be eliminated from the tournament.
Look at him. He's dialed in. He doesn't surrender. He doesn't be like, FML, like I'm folding now. Look at this.
So Hrabec, we were talking about him having a bluff catcher with the 8. He turns his hand into a bluff, and this is a tough call for Mateos. Yes, we can see he has trips, but everything got there on the river.
Yeah, and Adrian dialed into what properties he wants to make a hero call here. To be honest, I think a 10 is kind of a bad card, blocking Jack 10 and Queen 10. Let's imagine we had Jack 10 with the Jack of Diamonds. That would make a pretty juicy river bluff, right? So that's not a great card. Has no diamond to interfere with, say he had 10-5 with the 10 of diamonds. Now he would block some value. So he interferes with bluffs and doesn't block value. But he, by the way, to use the old commentator's cop-out, these two have history. Don't get me wrong, they have played a lot of poker. Roman, one of the top online players. So they will have battled often, and Mateos knows he's more than capable of pulling the trigger. And also Adrian's thinking about his own range. What hands, does he ever bet this sizing with a full house? Or, you know, has he got better hands than this with which, has he got, or does he bet this sizing with his whole range so he's just got the nuts to snap off with here? Or does he have to defend some of his weaker holdings? Yeah, and he folds. Wow. Great.
He almost showed it.
And a nice little moment for Roman.
You will see on the TV. I can't.
Love some emotion.
You want to wax lyrical about Adrian again while we have a little pause? I honestly feel that we actually, you know, sometimes you can feel a bit cheesy sort of hyping up a final table that you're covering or hyping up a feature table. But with what Adrian's doing right now, you know, the spotlight's really on him, sort of almost globally in terms of the results he's been putting together.
Yeah, and it's just been, you know, despite how obviously, you know, young he is, it's been going on for a long time now, and it's just amazing to watch. It just feels like you're seeing someone really special that's really committed to the craft and is just going to be around for a long time.
Oh, here we go. This is the moment we've been waiting for.
Vaskaboinikau announces all in. Roman Hrabec calls. He is the at-risk player here. He's involved in a coin flip against the Belarusian, a flip that he needs to win to survive.
Yeah, and nothing gone Roman's way. I gotta say, I'm gonna root for him here a little bit. After that spectacular bluff, he's a great guy as well. Would love to see him on the right end of the coin flip.
Eights holding on a 5-3-3 flop.
Kind of bleak flop there.
Yeah, not a good start. But still a quarter of the time, wins every time.
Turn card is a deuce. So Hrabec picks up additional outs, could make the wheel with a 4 on the river. An ace or a 10 gives him a higher pair.
And a big moment for every player at the table. The pay jump in play.
The river is a 5, eights hold, and we see the elimination of Roman Hrabec, fourth place finisher in this 50K super high roller. Gets more than $250,000, $262,200. Everyone else ladders up to 353K.
Yeah, and you see Roman leaving a little bit deflated there, but there's absolutely nothing he could have done at that final table. Obviously, an online phenom and putting together big results in the live arena as well.
Now, he has, at least he's kind of changed gear. I was a little bit worried that he was going to rip, which seemed to be his MO, and he would definitely get called by Martirosian's queens, but he's just 3-bet to 525,000.
Yeah, and it's difficult for Martirosian. Queen's not a hand that we necessarily can slow play, just because of the overcards that come. And the choice of hands that Mikalai might elect. We also want to just make sure we cooler pocket tens and such like. So Artur deciding how he wants to proceed with the queens, and he's actually clicking it here to try and induce. You do actually get some 4-bet folds, and I wonder whether Mikalai might bite, either in the form of a call or a shove. It's got to be tempting. We can imagine the bluffs here. A hand like ace-5 off would click it here some of the time, I'm sure of that. And he's got a sort of middle of the range hand.
Ooh.
And for that reason, he's going to hood flat. A lot of players wouldn't play flats here, and we got a very bloated pot here now. 2.3 million in the middle, pot back.
Exactly, Vaskaboinikau, the effective stack here with only 2 million behind.
Yeah, plenty of boards that he'll be prepared to go in on. You know, even a 7-8-9, for instance, with 2 million out there, you're getting it in. And the king comes!
Yeah.
Wow.
Spikes the king and immediately checks to Martirosian.
Yeah, and the queen's particularly tricky to play here. It's kind of easy to play the ace-5 off and just put money out there. Easy to play the aces or ace-king. Does queens sort of shielded by the top of range, aces and ace-king. And Martirosian will check back. And I wonder if he's concerned by that king. Mikalai might just reaching for chips. How does he want to play his range and his hands?
So I guess you're really considering all the, I mean, of course you do block something like king-queen here with the queens, Sam, but you know, if you think about the kind of hands that might 3-bet and call here, I guess a lot of these kind of suited king X's would be a part of that range.
I mean, you're dealing with a specific opponent.
Yeah, I mean,
it's really dialed into him, his sizing, the speed with which he acts. But we are calling 525 to win 2.8 million. So this is not the street where we're going to see Artur make a big fold. That's for certain. He will call. An ace here, of course, would potentially slow everyone down. A queen for a get-out for Marta.
Well, the river is a 4. Vaskaboinikau has a lock on this. 3.4 in the middle. He's got 1.55 behind. He announces all in.
Now, it's a big decision for Artur. So frustrating.
Yeah, and what a price too. 3.4 out there before the shove. Just, you know, about a 40% pot all in. Clubs, of course, have missed. How many club combos sort of come along for this 4-bet pre-flop? How many pure bluffs?
What does Mikalai do with ace-jack? I mean, another thing is that could there be aces,
Right.
you know, in the range? Kings in the range. Would they have just called the 4-bet? So there's actually some hands that had us beat all along. What does ace-king do? We imagine Mikalai doesn't call the 4-bet. Martirosian really going through what he knows about this opponent.
Yeah, and less likely, but some ace-7 suited combos too that are gonna somehow be here.
Yeah. And what does his range look like when he checks back the flop? He would obviously check back kings full on king 7-7. Where is he in his clicking range, etc.?
Call.
Oh, and he does call.
Martirosian makes the call and gives Vaskaboinikau a huge double up.
Wow.
That changes everything.
Wow.
We have a new chip leader at this 3-handed final table.
1.540.
Wow. So Martirosian shoving
We're
effectively
back.
18 big blinds. Quick call blind on blind for Mateos, and wow, action Jackson already.
Back in action, yeah.
There you go. A little bit easier now that this is they're fighting 3-handed for 56K.
Хорошо получилось.
С ним договорились в хедзапе вообще остаться. Еще когда было
I
15
think it's
человек.
also a factor of, well,
I mean, 18 bigs, yeah. It's a pretty premium hands. Blind on blind, I think.
yeah, of course it is
It's going in either
Martirosian
way.
that is at risk.
But the big favorite, domination situation. Couple of clubs on the flop.
Yeah, no heart, so no way out from that direction. Actually, 2 clubs, you know, good turn. Mateos semi-dead.
Diamond 8 on the turn.
And Mateos stoic. Of course, this another reason it's kind of okay, like the nice side of doing a deal means it's worth a bit less money.
Yeah, they are playing for just about $60,000
Almost
now.
to,
First place.
Yeah, you can come.
Do we have confirmation on those numbers, or are we
Yeah,
only
but
going to get them at the
between
end?
us, I win.
We will
On
get them.
TV,
We
you-
have them.
You
So-
Already.
They're playing for $59,277. Artur got
Need to play
$496,000.
one hand more
Wow,
before.
very
Adrian.
close to second. Would get over second if he won, by the way.
Yes.
Carry on.
Adrian got $555,000.
Yes.
And Mikalai got
1.895.
$542,000.
1.9.
Yeah.
All in and a call, and for once, Mateos is at risk and behind.
Potentially free for lunch or dinner, though.
Oh,
So
wow.
there is an
That is a
upside
good point.
Король to street.
if there's no crab. Mikalai obviously with a snap call. And Adrian looking a bit worried. It's a very close one with the 3 and no suited properties. As to whether he's jamming in, and I think that's a bit of an annoyance to him. But does, you know, can chop, can get out of jail. No extra outs.
Safe
Yeah.
flop for Vaskaboinikau. Mateos in big, big trouble.
Wow.
Well, that's a little helpful.
Not good card, huh?
Yeah, definitely a good card.
Opportunities.
Adrian may just survive this.
I don't think it's coming somehow. And that-
Adios,
Full house.
Adrian.
GG.
See you at dinner, buddy.
Yeah, and again, just
we will have a
worth
break now
emphasizing
to-
that, you know, we're
Да не, зачем
witnessing
нам брать?
Не, они места
the exit here of really the top player in the world right now. Someone putting together
Adrian, good
result
deal, Adrian.
after results. just a phenomenon. Has been
Yeah, and by the
since
way,
his youth.
very
but-
happy to book
we don't need
40K
break.
over
I just
second
asking
place,
you.
Yes.
finishing
Because,
third, booking another
we
extra
sit-
200,000.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
we play
And
heads
good
up
news
like
now for Mikalai Vaskaboinikau, who really wants to win this tournament.
Yes.
He has just got one more opponent to get through, and he's got the chip lead.
Decent turnout, decent field, decent prize pool, and yes, a deal was agreed, so they're no longer playing for the advertised payouts of 500K, 786K, but of course, still playing for the win, still playing for the trophy, and an additional $59,000 in prize money.
Yeah, and it would be remarkable when that deal was done, sort of bookmarked moment in this tournament. Artur just on 17 big blinds at an extreme disadvantage, and here he is still very much competing for the victories. Only a few chips behind his adversary.
Jack 4 versus 7 deuce of strawberries. And the flop is Queen 4-4. Pretty decisive board for Vaskaboinikau.
Yeah, and
Check.
will play it deceptively.
Ooh, that's an interesting check, Sam.
Yeah, with a 4 that you can raise on the river as well against other 4s, he feels like checking it back. And Artur not turning any hearts.
I guess my concern is, Sam, is Queen 4-4 seems like a board that we bet pretty much 100% of the time. So I think the checks ends up being somewhat strong. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Mikalai is going to have his own way of dealing with things. We have
Sure.
some unorthodox, and it's actually worked out here as Marta's taken a stab.
Yeah, that surprised me. Kind of a no equity stab on a board that probably is going to be bluffed aggressively by the player in position. I feel like when they check this flop, they have some showdown often, Sam, at least an ace-high kind of situation, maybe a king-high.
Yeah, and if he thinks the range is ace or king high, he might feel tempted to go for it with the 7 deuce.
900.
And look at this. I mean, Artur's aggressive instincts causing him problems here. And, you know, in a way, it seems Mikalai really knew his customer, you know, with, as you say, a potentially unorthodox check back, and is going to be the recipient of over 1 million chips. Oh, he just, I didn't see him announce all in. I guess he just put the triangle forward. Goes all in.
Заманила меня,
All in again.
Wow.
So Martirosian opens, Vaskaboinikau shoves.
Wow, and the high variance strategy comes undone. I mean, we do have a 12%, but this is pretty much as bad as it can get. You hope to, I mean, even if you get called, you want to see kings or queens, something where you could spike that ace. Martirosian in an amazing position.
87% favorite.
The title away.
So unless Vaskaboinikau gets very lucky here, we are going to have a winner in this 50K tournament here in Cyprus.
Yeah, and nothing much doing. A glimmer of hope in the form of a diamond.
Чтоб это
Давай.
интрига была.
Давай.
Yeah, saying, would you take a 2 or a 5? A 5 actually is a double gutter somehow.
Oh.
7 of diamonds.
One time.
It's all about the backdoors, and Vaskaboinikau is using his one time to try and spike one of the 9 outs in the deck. A diamond on the river sees him survive and take a phenomenal chip lead. Any other card, Martirosian is the champion.
Will the Tigers roar on a brick river?
Да, иди сюда.
It's a diamond!
My days, what is that?
It is the double up for Vaskaboinikau. The high variance strategy paying off for him.
Absolutely remarkable run out at depth, particularly with the way Mikalai is approaching things. We've done too many limps.
Хочу как ты тузов дождаться.
It's just a case of finding a shoving hand and finding a calling hand. We certainly won't have to wait long now for another all-in confrontation, you feel.
Побольше даже.
You know, because also as a top pro, if you're playing someone you're better than, you want to find a way to lower variance. But, you know, Mikalai not going to allow that to happen and hasn't done so at any stack depth, really.
Hold on.
Martirosian shoves with ace-deuce. Pocket fours for Vaskaboinikau, and he is calling.
And that's a hand to win a title with, a pocket pair versus the overcard. And I mean, look at this. Artur almost looks a little bit resigned to it. Both standing up. I mean, he can get out of it.
I would like to highlight, it was one of Martirosian's fellow countrymen who said there is always an ace on the desk, and that's what he needs right now, looking for that ace to get the double up to survive.
I mean, it's easier to beat pocket fours with ace-deuce than it was to beat aces, yeah. So...
Martirosian counting his time bank cards like, man, I'm fast.
Well, there's a deuce. That does give Martirosian additional outs. As things stand, though, Mikalai Vaskaboinikau is an 82% favorite to win the super high roller on this hand.
Yeah, and he would love to claim that title, Mikalai.
Of course, he has
And
the four of spades, so that reduces Martirosian's outs to 3 cards. 2 aces, 1 deuce, or we have our winner.
There it is.
A blank on the river, 4s hold, and Mikalai Vaskaboinikau has taken down the EPT Cyprus 50K super high roller.
Where is fire show? Where is fire show? Guys, come on.
Absolutely wonderful. And amazing, by the way, in an absolutely stacked field of killers, the top pros in the world, an amateur triumphant here, somewhat on home soil. A really big win for Mikalai, and a great run by Artur, who fought hard until the end. Look at that, running for the trophy.
Vaskaboinikau wants that trophy so bad, he's not prepared to wait for the official presentation. He's going to nab it off the podium now.
Sure.
And of course, he does get the most prize money. He locked up 542K in the deal. Add 59,000 to that, plus the trophy, plus the title, an official recognized win for Vaskaboinikau, and a total of more than 600K in prize money.
Yeah, great to see. I mean, he's got online titles on other tours, but the EPT Super High Roller title, particularly the sort of jewel in the crown 50K event, is something that will be top of the poker resume, I'm sure, for a long, long time to come.
Well, for the trophy presentation for the EPT Cyprus Super High Roller, here on stage with me is our worthy champion, Songul Beckham, president of Merit Poker, and Julian Liarte, business development manager for live events at PokerStars. Now, before we hand the trophy over, I just want to throw a couple of questions your way. First one being that sometimes we cover these super high rollers and it just seems like another day at the office. People just want to get in the main event, but this actually seemed quite special for you.
Yeah, very special event. Very special event for me because I never won. I played a lot of high rollers and super high rollers on PokerStars series, but never won none of them. So for me, a special moment, especially that I can get the trophy, because this was the main target of this. Already playing EPT for 10 years. Yeah, in 2024 will be 10 years, because first was 2014 in Barcelona. So yeah, it's like this.
Excellent. And you mentioned wanting to bring that trophy home to your kids. How's that going to feel later today?
Yeah, I can say that I dedicate this win for my wife, yes, and for my kids, 2 kids, and 1 is coming. So it's already for 3 kids. So, so at the moment I have 2 big trophies. This is the second one. So in the nearest future I need to get 3rd one. So nobody from them, you know, get upset.
All right, fair enough. Besting an elite field to take the title and more than $600,000 for first place. Please give it up for Mikalai Vaskaboinikau.